Now, how is it even possible that a social media app can be turned into such a weapon? With a 50-to-1 ratio, 50 pro-Palestinian views to 1 pro-Israel view. Is that just happenstance? Or is that by design? By the looks of it, it's by design, and we now face an entire generation of brainwashed heads falling into the hands of a few social media gurus. Sounds bad? We're going to break it down now, and you can decide for yourself. I'm Joshua, and this is the Israel Guys. Welcome back to the Israel Guys, where we believe in the world of Jew hatred and anti-Israel propaganda. You should have a direct connection to the land and people of Israel. Guys, we're diving into this crazy topic of TikTok and how it's affecting the world. But first, we're doing a huge raffle, something you do not want to miss out on. We've got tons of merch, and it's just for you. Whoever the winner is at the end of the month will take it all. So go to the link in the description below, click that, join the raffle. We're giving a lot of great giveaways away. Okay, so the rise of TikTok. How is it that there are literally 50 views of pro-Palestinian content to 1 view of pro-Israel content on the platform in the United States of America? Now, okay, so let's boil that down. That means there's 50 times the number of people on TikTok that view pro-Palestinian media versus pro-Israel media. How is that even possible? And as we're talking about, is that by design? Is the app created to foster an Arab agenda in the world? And is it true? Are we seeing truth being pushed out on this platform, or is it really not true and it's leading an entire generation literally down the drain when it comes to truth and morality and what's actually going on? Well, here in Israel, we're obviously on the ground and we're seeing the facts of what's happening. And as we'll mention again, 50% of the data base of the TikTok user supposedly is pro-Hamas. Now, that's a problem. Major problem. All right, let's look at TikTok views. TikTok's reach on the Israel-Hamas war surpasses the views of the top 10 sites in the United States combined. That's news sites. So let's look at this. The week of November 17th, 2023. We're talking about the New York Times, CNN, Fox News, the New York Post, USA Today, and the Washington Post and the Guardian. All of those reached a total of 400 million views the week of November 17th. Pro-Palestinian hashtags on TikTok received 500 million. Yeah. Outdone them all. TikTok is the go-to for news in America, and it is very far from the truth of what's really going down. So there's a big facade out there. We think news agencies are actually the ones in charge of putting the news out. Not anymore. TikTok has taken the lead on the way, especially young people, are viewing the world. And it's having a major effect on Israel and the truth of the situation here. There's a big facade of what's actually going down and what's being portrayed as going down in the world, especially in the West, in the United States. The trust and safety team. So more reports are coming out to the trust and safety team. These are the people that moderate the content that goes out on there. They say they're openly anti-Israel, and they allow anti-Israel content while suppressing pro-Israel content. So this is just things that are out there. I don't have any validation of this, but it's pretty clear that that's what's happening. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to look at that platform and see that there's some agenda going on that is affecting the masses. And you have down on Israel, up with the Arab whole narrative, the whole Arab agenda of creating the 22nd Arab state and the one and only Jewish state. Like, it's a pretty far-fetched dream, but they are literally creating content that is taking the masses, because it's a whole entity that is geared towards creating this content that it'll sell. And it'll make terrorists into nice guys, and people that are victims of that terrorism, the bad guys. which is insane. But that is the effect of what is literally happening on the platform of TikTok now. And that really is not any secret. I think as I'm speaking, most of you are probably, yeah, it makes sense. According to recent surveys, those on TikTok versus Instagram and Twitter, or X, are far more likely to have an anti-Semitic worldview based off their usage on the platform. So again, we're singling out TikTok over the rest of them because there actually is something about TikTok, and it's how it works, that gets far more anti-Israel usage. Like literally just by being on there, you're going to get a barrage of anti-Israel information constantly. All right, they say that 18 to 24, as I mentioned before, 18 to 24-year-olds, 50% of those TikTok users, 18 to 24 years old, 50% of them support Hamas. Okay, a validated terror organization. 50% of the users on this platform, supposedly, are Hamas supporters. How do you get there? Is that just by accident? No, you don't just get there by accident. You're being brainwashed constantly with inaccurate media, things that are being told to you through a lens that's not true, and then you're putting your worldview together by these lies that are supposedly true and fiction as it can be, and you're joining a team that is nothing more than a bunch of terrorists that have gazillions of dollars that are somehow getting those monies into this entity that's now affecting zillions of young people around the world. TikTok users, let's just nail this out real quick. TikTok users are more likely to, number one, believe Jewish people are dishonest in business. Number two, believe Jewish people are disloyal to America. Three, believe Jewish people have too much power in the media. Now, that one gets me, because what is TikTok if it's not media? And do you think the Jewish people create a media platform that bashes them? No. So that's what I'm saying. Down to the basic root of this, we have an entity that is all about demonizing Jews, the land of Israel, and the Jewish people establishing their ancient homeland again. And this demonization platform is having major success on the young people of the globe. Let's look at number four. Number four, disagree that Israel has a right to defend itself against those who want to destroy it. Again, these are four things TikTok users are more likely to believe about the Jewish people. That's four pretty big things that historically are rooted in anti-Semitism and have very, very heavy consequences on the as historically. When we see a generation rise that believes these things about the Jewish people, watch out. We're in danger. The Jewish people right now, anti-Semitism and the rise of anti-Semitism across the globe is horrendous. And this platform is promoting it, which is atrocious and needs something done about it. We're bringing this up because we can't just sit here on this channel and watch the world go crazy and not say something about an entity here that is literally causing much trouble, especially from my view as a pro-Israel person that sit here and sees what's going on both sides, and I can rationalize for myself what I believe. In this TikTok world, they're removing that and giving people one side where they're unable to cipher what's going on and are convincing the masses of what I believe is a complete lie. Now, Jonathan Greenblatt of LDA says, ADL says TikTok is the 24/7 news channel of our people, of our young people, and it's like Al Jazeera on steroids, amplifying and intensifying anti-Semitism and anti-Israel sentiment without any repercussions. So again, he's exactly right. We have, as unlike Al Jazeera, that actually has some, which should, I mean, they also are pretty freelance. They say whatever they want. But unlike a news source, this is completely free. There's nobody getting fired after statements on TikTok. Like, what's going to happen? You're going to put out some videos. It's just there. You just put out stuff. And the agency that runs it, the TikTok platform itself, is who's to blame, but nobody knows and how to bring about repercussions for those actions. Now, this, as he said, how does this continue with the results that we're seeing, the incredibly high impact it's having on the young generation, the anti-Israel propaganda that's being spewed on this network? Really needs some attention. Like, really have to pull this down. We've partnered with Blessed by Israel to promote the Heartland Challenge, encouraging supporters of Israel all around the world to commit to using certain products only from Judea and Samaria. So whether it's olive oil, tea, soap, ceramic, or something else, Blessed by Israel is encouraging everyone to buy what you believe in and then share the message with your community and friends. It's time to build and invest in the heartland of Israel. Join the Heartland Challenge and start making a difference today. To find out more, go to Blessed by Israel. That's BUIIsrael.com to find out more. Use the invest at the checkout for $5 off your first order. Link is in the description below. Last things we'll say about this. TikTok is among, as we've talked about, the most influential platforms in the United States, especially for the ages of 18 to 24-year-old folks. Now, again, I want to emphasize, there's got to be some increased responsibility and consequences on this service, as it is blatantly against Israel, and we're seeing the results of that in America today. We have to have some responsibilities, some increased responsibilities for the platform, so this is stop. TikTok has an outsized and disproportionately one-sided influence on young Americans' attitudes towards Israel and the Hamas war. This is problem. It's disproportionate and extreme bias. We're talking about that 50-to-1 ratio, remember? All right. And again, TikTok's content moderation team has demonstrated extreme bias with internal claims of sympathy towards terrorist organizations. So we've also got that. We have them not dealing with terrorists as terrorists should be dealt with. Another big problem. TikTok is leading to an increase. This is just the result of what's going on. TikTok is leading to an increase in anti-Semitic beliefs and likely a key contributor to the increase of anti-Semitic acts, particularly on college campuses. Guys, you got to be blind not to see exactly what I'm talking about. Everyone understands they see it, but how do we do change? In conclusion, TikTok must fully revamp its content moderation when dealing with this conflict. That's got to happen. I don't know how, but this is what needs to happen. Maybe for you as a TikTok user. Maybe that's got to happen for you in order to use the platform. Maybe that's a problem too. Maybe one of the reasons why there's no conservative Israel voices or pro-Israel voices because there's that crowd doesn't exist on TikTok already. Can we fix TikTok by all joining? I don't think so. I don't think that's going to work. So if you're on TikTok and you see that, understand that you could be receiving things that are changing your worldview without even your understanding of what's actually going on. That's what's happening to a lot of people. Young people who their parents are pro-Israel are no longer pro-Israel and actually pro-Hamas, the terrorist, because of this TikTok flood that's happening to them, that they're unable to fully understand what's going on, and they're being absolutely brainwashed by this material. An entire generation now is being convinced that somehow genocide against Jews is somehow justified. Like 50% that support Hamas would believe that their Hamas is just justified for their actions. Again, 50% is a massive number. This is no small thing. I encourage you in our age of social media, do not just take it. Don't take it. Don't receive it. It's messed up. It's backwards. The truth is now a lie, and the lie is a truth. So find things that you know are true. In our world today, this is the biggest, essential thing that we must grab a hold of. Grab a hold of truth. The world is going insane. And if there's sane people out there, stop it. Don't continue to feed yourself the insanity that the world is providing, where literally the terrorist is now the good guy. And Israel, the only democracy in the Middle East, is now falling an international arena of support and they're supporting a terrorist entity that is right at their doorsteps themselves. America is at risk of these same entities that are attacking Israel to attack them. But yet they're failing to support Israel in a really strong way. And this is one of the big reasons, because support back home is failing. Now, as we continue, I would hope that you would find that what we do here as a daily news channel from the ground, something to combat that. What we have here is a channel of every day we will bring you the truth, and it's not propaganda. Some may disagree, but it's what we see on a daily basis. It's way we live here. We're not some entity that's funded from, some crazy place out of nowhere that has something. There's no money there. We are literally here. We're volunteering in this country, and we're providing you this content so that you can understand what's going on here and be aware that there are some major entities that are fighting against this very thing that I'm talking about, TikTok being one of them, trying to demonize Jews and make the state of Israel look like a horrible thing, when in my mind, and I hope in your mind, this is the most godly thing happening in the entire planet. The Jewish people are coming back to their homeland. It's being demonized because, frankly, maybe everything of not God would have problems with what's happening here. Because literally what's happening here in Israel is straight out of the book. The Jewish people are coming back to their home. They're building up the Heartland, and that's what we're here to tell you about. In the end, it's good news. We got amazing things happening here in the land, the good land, the land of the living. But you have got to decide who you're going to listen to. And I suggest you tune into the real truth coming out of Judea and Samaria right here at the Israel Guys. Guys, we're here every Monday through Friday with your direct connection to the land and people of Israel.